Hey guys, so today y'all are going to be playing a little activity to go along with learning about the Plymouth Plantation, and you're going to kind of be getting to experience what it was like to be a Native American or Pilgrim trading in this time. So to set the game up, you're going to need to get into two groups. You're all going to need to separate yourselves. Your teacher might have put you in your groups already, or y'all might have done it yourself. But each group is going to get a baggie. So the Pilgrim group in your classroom is going to get one of these blue baggies. And the Native American group in your class is going to get a red baggie. So once y'all get your baggies, you're also going to need to make sure that on your baggie, you have your hour written on it and the number of people in your group is right. If your number of your group if the people in your group doesn't match the number right here, the activity isn't going to work. So just make sure that there are that many people in your group and that it says the correct hour and that you have the right bag depending on what group you are, if you're Native American or Pilgrim. So each group is going to get an example bracelet. Your teacher will give this to you, but she'll have to take it back at the end of the game. So just make sure you keep a hold of this and don't lose it because the other hours will have to use it. So this is the Pilgrim's bracelet, and y'all will get to look closer at it in your classroom. And this is the Native American bracelet. So the goal of the game is that y'all are going to be, each person in your group is going to be trying to make a replica of your bracelet. So if you're in the Native American group, you're going to be trying to make an exact copy of the Native American bracelet. But the problem is you don't have all the beads you need in your baggie for each person in your group to make that bracelet. So you're going to have to trade with the other group because they do have the beads that you'll need. So what you need to do right now is you're going to need to open your baggies, and your teacher should have also given you a plate that says keep and a plate that says trade. So you're going to get out your bags and put your plates on the ground or wherever you want to put them, maybe on a table, and you're going to sort through your beads, and you're going to find the beads in your bag that match the beads on your bracelet. So this is the Pilgrim bag, and this is the Pilgrim bracelet. So I would look through, if I was on the Pilgrim team, I would look through this baggie and find all of the beads that match the one on my bracelet. And I'm going to put the beads that match my bracelet that are in my team's baggie on the keep plate, because those are the beads that we're going to use in the Pilgrim group to make our beads. And then any of those beads in there that don't match your bracelet, your team's bracelet, you're going to put on your trade plate. And it's important that y'all keep those separated so that you don't accidentally trade or lose some beads. So you're going to have time to do that now. So your teacher is going to pause the video, and y'all are going to go through your beads and sort them out between your keep plate and your trade plate. And once you have done that, you can play the video again. Okay, now that y'all have all of your beads sorted out between your trade plate and your keep plate, we're going to go over how the game is going to go. So the group's goal is for each member to make an exact copy of your example bracelet that you've been given. So the problem is you don't have all the beads that you need in your baggie to make the bracelet that you are supposed to be making, but the other team does have those beads. So you'll be participating in rounds of trading to get the beads you need for your group's bracelets. And this is meant to help you better understand what it was like as a Native American or Pilgrim to be trading in this time. So like I said, we're going to be going in rounds. And for the first round of trading, there are some rules. The rules will change each round, but the concept will stay pretty much the same. And like most of the ground rules will remain the same. Just a couple of things will change with each round. So for the first round, this is what you're going to do. The two groups should be on opposite sides of the room. One person from each group, so one Pilgrim, will pick up your trade plate with all of your trade beads on it, and will walk to the middle of the room. And then one person from the Native American group will pick up their trade plate and go to the middle of the room. Just one person from each group. And the two people from each group will trade 3 beads without talking to each other. So you'll have to use gestures or maybe pointing to figure out which beads y'all want to trade. So you will pick up the one member from the Pilgrim team will pick up their 3 beads that the other team wants and give it to the Native Americans, and then the Native Americans will pick up their 3 beads that the Pilgrims want off of their trade plate and give it to them. So you will be swapping 3 beads each. So once you've done that, once you've swapped your beads, that person that you sent up with the trade plate will go back to the group and they will give the trade plate to another member of the team, and they will put their new beads on their keep plates so that they don't lose them, because those are beads that can be used on your example bracelet. So this is going to keep happening for 2 minutes. So they'll pass the trade plate off, they'll give the trade plate to the other team member, and that team member can go up and trade with the other team member from the other group. And you'll keep swapping. No one should be going twice. It should be new people each time going up. And new people are gonna be going and trading for 2 minutes. So once your 2-minute timer goes off, you're done trading. You can't trade and everyone needs to go back to your group. Now remember, during this round, you aren't allowed to talk at all. You just can use gestures and stuff. Only 3 beads at a time, and only one person from each group goes up at a time. So this is the rules written out, and you can go ahead and pause the video whenever you're ready and start the timer and do the first round of trading. So round 2 of trading is very similar to the first round in that it's only going to be one person going up at a time from each group, and it's only going to be 3 beads being traded. But for this round, the teacher is going to act as a translator, just kind of like Squanto was with the Wampanoag Indians and Pilgrims. So the teacher will stand in the middle of the room, and one person from each group will go up with their trade plate. And they will tell the teacher, the one person from the group will tell the teacher which beads on their plate they want to trade with the other group. And the teacher will be that communication between the 2 groups. You can't talk to each other. The members can't talk to each other. They can only talk to the teacher, and the teacher will talk to the other team. So there should be no teams talking directly to each other. It should be the team, teacher, team. And it will be your representatives with the plates trading. So once 3 beads are traded, that group member that came up and talked with the teacher to get the beads will go back and give the plate to someone else, just like in last round, and that member will go up and do the same thing. They'll trade their 3 beads by talking to the teacher and telling her which ones they want from the other team. So once again, you're going to have 2 minutes for this trading round. It should be a new person each time, and you might be through all of your people from the last 2 minutes, so that's fine if the first person wants to go again and stuff. So for 2 minutes, that's going to happen. And once your 2-minute timer goes off, the trading ends for that round. So you'll go back to your groups. So here is a list of the rules that you're going to be following. Remember, you can only speak to the teacher who is acting as the translator. You can only trade 3 beads at a time. Only one member from each group can go up to trade at a time. And when the timer goes off, the trading has to end. So you can go ahead and pause the video now and do your second round of trading. Now that you've gone through your 2 rounds of trading, you might need to go through your plates and figure out what beads you still need for your team and what beads you have that are good. So you might just use this time to orient yourselves, and once you're ready, you can continue with the game. So you can go ahead and pause the video now and get all of that figured out. Round 3 of trading is very similar to the past 2 rounds, except just like the second round, there are different rules. So for this round, each person that comes up with the trade plate, there will be one person from one group and one person from the other group that will come up with the trade plate. they get to talk to each other now. So the whole groups can't talk to each other, but the one student that comes up can talk to the other student that comes up. So they can come up and they can trade their beads that they need to, and then only 3 beads at a time, remember, and then they can go back to their group and put the beads they got on their keep plate and then hand the trade plate off to someone else in their team. So you can do that until all of your beads, you have all of your beads that you'll need to make your copy of the bracelet. There's not a timer for this round. So here's the rules for round 3, just as a little reminder, and you can go ahead and pause the video when you're ready. So just remember that only the members that go up to trade could talk to each other, and only one group member can go at a time, and only 3 beads can be traded at once. So pause the video whenever you're ready to start round 3. Okay, so now that you've gone through all the rounds of trading, you should have all of the beads you need for each person in your group to make a copy of your group's bracelet. So y'all can go ahead and do those now. And then if y'all have time afterwards, your teacher might have you do a little Kahoot that just goes over what we talked about yesterday in our presentation. So we hope that this activity was something that helped you better understand what it would have been like as a Native American or a pilgrim to be trading in this time period under the conditions that they were in. And we hope you learned a lot about Plymouth Rock and enjoyed our presentation.